Hello there, welcome to Harvey's World of Randomness. I'm Harvey, your host, and today I thought I'd talk about my granddad's computer. This is one I found in his attic, and I've slowly been fixing it because it's had some problems. So first of all, I'd like to show you the case, which is rather heavy. Here's the front, here's the back. You can see here, you've just got a single screw holding the cover in place, and it's just all, the side and the top is just all one cover that I could just take off. Although it is rather annoying to take off though. So let's see if I can move the camera a little bit. I'm not sure I can. This is on top of the monitor. Perhaps if I move it down here. Well, this is going to get interesting. Hang on. Right, that's a bit close, but if I back up a bit, it might. Yes, there we are. Just aim it up a little bit. No? Yes? No? Okay. Well, as I said, let's have a little look at the back actually. So here is the hole where this PS2 keyboard port would have gone. This is the, I think this is called a PS2. This isn't the PS2 you probably know if you're newish to computers, especially older computers. But this is the, I think, the original kind of PS2, which was a lot larger, and I think was also used as audio port at some point. And then of course we have the power supply, which I've kept in here for the moment, which has a two-way thing here where you can plug the power into it, and then a special cable you plug into it and then to the monitor, so you don't have to have extra cables that you don't need. So let's go back to the front. Let's discuss what we have in the front here. Let's see, we have a CD-ROM drive. Either that or it's CD rewritable. No, it just seems to be a normal CD-ROM drive. It's got an eject button, obviously, and it's got a volume knob, a light to so you can tell when it's busy or not, and a headphone port. And then down here have a 3.5-inch floppy drive, fairly standard. We have a lock, so people can't just randomly access your computer without your permission. A reset button and a power button. And at the front it says Ambridge. Don't know if you can see that label very well. Let's see if I can get it closer to the camera. Maybe catch off the light a bit. Nah, you can barely see it, but it is there. And now comes the tricky part, where I'm going to have to take off this this casing here. Now let's see if I can set the camera over here, so you'll be able to see this better. Okay. Right. So if I must remember, you sort of have to wedge it open with a screwdriver at the front here. There, that's loosened it a bit, and then you just sort of pull away, up and out. Oh, this is very frustrating to take apart, as you can probably tell. Oh, bloomin' neck. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Hang on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not, but... Oh, never mind. There we are. And then you just... Try and let it catch on anything, you just... There. Whew. Okay then. Yes, yes, the CD-ROM drive. Just there. Power supply just here. If I lift this up a bit. We've got a load of cables and such, because I've basically taken all the guts out of it, as you can see. So yeah, is that a fan on the front? Oh no, it hasn't got a fan on the front, but it's got what looks to be a holder if you want a fan on the front. Yes. Okay, well let's set this to the side and bring up our next component, which I've decided is the motherboard. Probably the most important part. Of course, everything all the parts need one another, but anyway. Now this is one component that's been having some problems. The clock battery, which was a little green thing with either 3 or 4 coin batteries inside it, thick ones, was mounted, I think, just here. I need some light down here, blimey. Mounted just there, and over time, being in the attic, it had leaked, and I corroded some tracks and such on the motherboard. I have been able to get rid of most of the corrosion with white vinegar. Before I tried isopropyl alcohol, but that didn't work very well. So yeah, I reached out on Facebook, and yeah. As you can see here, we have the PS2 port. I might even bring up the keyboard, you never know. I think I know where it is. Yeah, you got on these what appear to be pins here were also affected by the corrosion, but they seem to be fine now. And the processor, which is probably the most exciting part, excuse me, just had hot dogs, probably the most exciting part is a 486 DX2. As you can see, here is the front, and of course the pins. And it seems to be in pretty much perfect condition, which is always a good sign. Just to line this up and slot it back in. There we are. Then pull down this lever to lock it into place. Yep, so this is the motherboard. And then next, let's have a look at the RAM. I'm not sure exactly. It's a bit dusty, sorry. I'm not sure exactly what the capacity of the RAM is, because I can't seem to find anywhere where it should say. Perhaps on the individual chips, and I can just count up the numbers. But I can't really discern that. But here it is, and it's got 2 sticks of what seems to be the same RAM. Well, obviously it's going to be the same RAM. I mean, well, I don't know what capacity they are, so I suppose hopefully when I fix it I shall find out. And of course, with the CPU we also need a heatsink and fan, which I have here. The fan is rather grubby, and then it's just clipped onto the heatsink. And of course here are the power cables that connect to the power supply. Next thing, oh yes, and of course, because that coin battery had corroded and leaked, we need a replacement, don't we? So as you can see here, you might be able to see this little ring here. This was designed so we could also have a coin battery holder, and we had got this one, but it seems to surface mount. So my father found this either online, or I think he had it. No, I think it might be online though. I'm not too sure. this little thing here, which is a little coin battery holder, which you could just solder into the motherboard here, and if I on or off, oh, that's a nice feature. If I open it, see in here. Right, so let's move along slightly. Onto the hard drive, I think, and then we get into the different cards. It's a bit dusty as well. Well, everything's a bit dusty here, I'm not surprised. This is a Seagate hard drive, model ST3660A. Let's see if we can get it out of its caddy. Now, I've never tried that before. The other side. Then one more screw. There we are, nice and loose. Just slide that off, and here we have the drive. Yes, model ST3660A, drive parameters, something or other. Warning, delicate equipment handle with care, or head disk damage may occur. They spelled disk with a C instead of a K. How funny. Product warranty will be void if label or top cover is removed, or if the drive experiences shock in excess of 75 Gs. Okay, jumper settings. I think this might be 5 megabytes. This drive, it looks like it's 5 megabytes. It's, I think, if I read that correctly on the label. And this is what it looks like on the back. Originally, this drive had Windows 3.1 installed on it, but my Grandad must have upgraded at some point, because when I plugged it into this computer I'm using here to record this video, I found it had Windows 95 installed on it. So let's, okay. Next, let's move on to the sound card. I'm not sure exactly what port this is. I may need to look that up, or maybe you can tell me in the comments. And then here we got a load of auxiliary ports. It looks like line in, microphone in, line out. Oh, that's a bit. It is a little rusted. Very lightly rusted. Just dots of rust over the I/O shield. Something else out. Oh, and then it says what this port is. A joystick. Oh yes, this port's for a joystick, and it's on the sound card. How very interesting. And then we have a cable here. I think it goes from the sound card probably to the CD-ROM drive. And then next we have the video card with VGA. And this also has some problems, because I got this the last year or the year before, and back then I was obviously a bit younger, and I was a bit, well, not as knowledgeable as I am now. And my stupid self plugged this in to a PCI port on the motherboard on this computer, and I just started smoking. So I quickly unplugged it, and I've learned from my mistake. Thankfully though, it's only a very small scorch mark here, and it's only seemed to be affected one pin no tracks or anything were affected. So I thought if I just get some of the same material, cut it down to the right size and solder it on, it should be good to go. I am a burk sometimes. Yes, I would never do that nowadays, of course. And this here is the graphics card with a load of cables coming off it. So this cable obviously to connect to the motherboard, I think. And then this one we have. It doesn't say anything, but we got some ports here. I think one of them is probably a printer port. The longer one here, I suspect, is a printer port. Or either that one is, or oh, hang on a second. Perhaps we have two. One to go from the computer and one to go to. Let's see. We can plug it into itself, I think. Well, we could if these things went in the way, but yeah, that's interesting. And then we have a serial port here. Then this is what it looks like. The front. And on, do we have a company name or something? Warranty void if removed, 1995, made in China. Can't really seem to see a company there, but that's what the other side looks like. And that is essentially that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, see ya.